Listening to the Dennis Prager Show, and we go to Los Feliz, California. And David, hello, David. Thank you for calling.
Yeah, I'm sorry to say this, Dennis, but I think you're one of the, well, you're just a scientific ignoramus, and I really think you owe your audience an apology for your ignorance. You don't even know the difference between weather and climate. You don't even call in the fact is that you have NASA scientists like James Hansen and Gavin Schmidt from realclimate.org that have completely destroyed every single one of these fraudulent arguments. You do your listeners a disservice, and not only that, you're an environmental criminal for pawning off all this garbage. It's really despicable. In fact, I think you really owe an apology to your listeners, because it's just not right that you just openly lie. So another question, are you just doing this out of complete ignorance because you don't even know the difference between weather and climate? Or is it because you're just genuinely evil and you really could put profit over people, and anything that makes a buck for the oil and gas industry is great for you? You know, I can't take it anymore, Mr. Prager. You've destroyed this country along with the other super right-wing nuts that are on the radio.
Anything more to say?
I have plenty more to say.
Go on. The more you talk, the better it is for me. Continue.
Oh, yeah, I know, Mr. Prager. I love your calmness. You're like a huckster, like a snake oil salesman that comes on. You don't have a single scientifically peer-reviewed journal, do you, Mr. Prager? You know nothing about global warming. You didn't even know that climate and weather are totally different and they're totally independent. And the fact is that every global climate scientist would always say that weather is unpredictable because of the number of uncertainties and chaotic conditions in the local. You're a scientific ignoramus. I teach science. I've taught it since 1982, and I can positively tell you that you are a disgrace to be on the airwaves talking science. It's just disgraceful.
Okay, I'll give my answer. This is how you folks regard us. It's usual. We're right-wing evils, which is redundant to you people because right-wing means evil. We're right-wing because we differ with you. What you say has no effect on me, but I think it's very helpful for my audience to understand the passion and anger and hatred that exists for anybody who questions the global warming hysteria. I had the same calls, David, from people who yelled at me for being a scientific ignoramus and for being evil when I spoke about the hysteria over heterosexual AIDS in America. Time and Newsweek, like their hysteria about global warming will destroy us, so too they spoke about how AIDS will destroy millions upon millions of Americans, and it's going to be spread heterosexually. That was the lie. I called them on the lie, and I turned out to be right. You don't hear a thing about heterosexual AIDS now in America. But that doesn't matter because, as I've always said, being on the left means never having to say you're sorry. But I got all forms of responses like your own about the heterosexual AIDS issue. And the beauty about your side on this one is, unlike the heterosexual AIDS, which was predicted for very soon, and it was shown to be a fraud, this one you predict for 2060. So I don't know if I'll be on the air in 53 years. And I don't know if you'll be alive in 53 years or I will be alive in 53 years for you to apologize for your rant. But it is a rant, and it's important that people hear what you have to say, and I thank you for calling. The number of scientists who dispute this, including the leading climatologist at MIT, I just don't know how your side dismisses these people. They all ignoramuses? Is everybody? And I work for the oil companies? Do you understand how many people, not all folks, but people like David think? You can't possibly be sincere in what you believe. You must be a shill for oil companies. This is how Marxism is alive. There's always an economic reason for people who differ with the people like him on the left. It must be an economic reason. It can't be that you sincerely believe this. It can't be that you have your own list of eminent scientists. It's not possible. Because we know the truth. David knows the truth. The rest of us are liars. Well, you sleep well because of your certitude. No question about that. We'll return in a moment. I guess the president of the Czech Republic. I see in the pay of the oil companies, too. Yeah, another buffoon out there. We'll continue. It's very healthy. This is the beauty of talk radio. People do get to vent, and it's a healthy thing because then there's less violence. Back in a moment. I was